We're in the College of New Rochelle, and I'm interviewing an alumni. My name is Carla Hampton, and you are?
Dr. Marylean Wrotten.
Now, Dr. Marylean Wrotten, said it right? She has a PhD in human resources. What was your major when you was going to the College of New Rochelle?
Well, it was communications and criminal justice.
So, what made you switch to human resources to get your PhD?
Actually, it's human services.
Human services.
Right.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So, criminal justice is part of human service. It's just that the population that I wanted to deal with and bring in social service programs to individuals.
People that are incarcerated, would you say, or probation?
Okay, human service covers
a lot of people.
Right, so very broad. But I started focusing on youth who are aging out of foster care. So that population and the homeless youth, or young adults rather, because they're young adults. So.
Now, a lot of these youths are homeless or, becoming young adults. Do you think that they are homeless, they're lost because their parents weren't healed? No one took the time out to teach the parents how to be parents so that they could teach the youth.
Well, the young adults, because I'm looking at young adults between the ages of 18 and 25, right? So there are a lot of variables that may cause someone to become homeless, and some parents may, at 18, they say, well, that's it, I raised you from 18, now you have to go.
Right.
So in this case, where I'm looking at a particular population, youth, young adults aging out of foster care, many times they age out without having anywhere to go.
Wow.
There have been several studies or various studies on that, and then just a lot of young people that are homeless have been in the system as well.
Now, do you think this is generational? They're in the system. Their parents were probably in the system. So, do you think that this is a way of life?
No.
I'm not talking about the foster parents. I'm talking about their parents, birth parents.
Their parents, right. You're referring to their birth parents, and not necessarily. It's just that maybe perhaps the parents were not raised, or did not learn how to be a parent. Because they can still be in their home and not really learn how to be a parent from their parents. So it could be generational, right? And then sometimes and then some kids just go through abuse, or maybe parents are on drugs, or different things that can cause them to go into the system.
That's
abuse, neglect, substance abuse problem. It could be so many variables that can cause someone to go into home. Maybe the parents could not control. I don't want to say the word control them, but could not handle them. Sometimes maybe they had behavior problems that the parents could not deal with, and so they.
Well, a lot of black youth, I think what happens with them also is when a lot of them are ill-educated. And when they go into the school system tells them that you're not worthy. You're non-compliant with the rules that go on in the class. And the first thing they want to do is hype them up with drugs. A lot of them, their drug interaction comes from being doped up as minors.
Okay, well, in reference to school, first it begins with leadership. Everything begins with leadership. And so, if the teachers have a different perspective of how they see our kids, especially in the urban community.
Right.
Many teachers are not from the area, right? And so society, whether it's through media, you know, different laws, they portray African American people, kids, you know, men, whoever, a certain way, and so everybody perceives, you know, children a certain way, and so when the teachers come into the school, they have that same perception, and they don't think that, you know, oh, well, we're going to the school in an urban community, and they have behavior problems. They come from poor families. They don't, you know, the parent probably didn't graduate. So this is like their thinking, and so it reflects on how they treat the students. And students may not have behavior problems, but it's just that a student may not have a behavior problem, but it's just that because their perception of that particular student, then it causes their behavior. You see what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes they have behavior problems, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna give you a point in case. I grew up in Long Island,
right?
So I went to a mixed school,
right? Mostly
black and white, but so I did have a teacher, and I forgot her, Miss Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
I had her for math, and I could not get math because I was so afraid of this lady. I think she was really mean, but her perception of black people was something different, you know. But how she came in and she understood, how she understood the students, you know, the students, and communicated with them better than she probably did. I probably would have done better in math, you know. So a lot of times teachers don't know how to communicate. A lot of times teachers coming in and don't know how to communicate with the kids, and they're new, fresh out of college, and they just don't know how to communicate.
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you. We're gonna have a public service announcement, and then we'll get back to this stimulating conversation. I like to hit on points with black people on a whole of how we are stereotyped, how the media manipulates people's perception of us. Now, our children in school, our children learn different. Mm-hmm. Now, if you notice, if you take a black child and you take a Caucasian child, that black child is more, how can I say, aware. They're basically smarter in their interaction in life. Why? Because they have seen more. Mm-hmm. A Caucasian child, it lives in the land of La La Land, and it may be 7 years old, still considered a baby. But a 7-year-old black child has to grow up quick. It's generational as far as drugs in the family. Your uncle, Aunt Mamie, your mama, somebody may have sold it. And when you have this around you all the time, the children believe that this is a way of life. They don't realize that this is them being put into modernized slavery. And what I mean by that is the penitentiary. Mm-hmm. And the correction officers are the new overseers. Mm-hmm. People think that it's easier to live the crime-filled life as opposed to doing the right thing. But in the end, I think that, you know, the penitentiary, when you do things, commit crimes, that stagnates your growth.
I mean, it does.
And those people, when they go in, whatever age they are, that's where they stop at. Our youth teachers, I went to an all-white school. Mm-hmm. I was the only black in my class. And I was stereotyped to the point where I was ignorant, I was a thief. I was called nigger on the regular. I used to think that was my name. They called me nigger so much. And I remember being mad at my mother the first day I came home because she told me I was her cross to bear, but she never told me I was a nigger. So when I confronted her on it, she just stared at me. Being older now and I think back on it, she didn't know what to say to me because she had been living this life and it was normal to her. Our kids are seen as charlatans, thieves, liars, and these teachers come in with their personal prejudice against blacks, against our children. All right, they have to deal with the with their home life, then come in and deal with that stereotype life, I think that this opens door to homelessness, addiction, and not having confidence in yourself, lack of education. Parents can't teach the kids because they don't know. I'm gonna teach you.
Okay, well, first, right, you're absolutely right in terms of how society sees us and how we are portrayed in society, whether it's through media, you know, social network, whatever, movies, the rap music. Right. But the reason that is done is because they don't want African American or minorities to know their real history. You know, people need to go and really study Black history, and which they should have it in the schools, because Black African American males, African American people, invented majority of stuff that we use today. I mean, not just the street lights and you know, but there are other things that we have done. I mean, and besides that, a lot of stuff. And so what happened is that their history, not ours. They don't want to teach us that, because then we'll realize that that they're in the minority and we're in the majority. They don't want us to know that we're kings and queens and you know, and we taught civilization to Caucasians who live in the mountains. You understand? So there are a lot of stuff that they don't want us to know. So how do you keep a people that's really rich down?
Because that comes from insecurity.
Their insecurity.
Their insecurity. So therefore, their insecurity causes them to stifle us. It also comes from fear.
Right. So what they do, they put fear. They portray, oh, blacks are this, blacks are that. You know, blacks are on food stamp. Where that's not really the truth. Where there's more white on that get food stamps, but everything in the media is portrayed as black. This is always negative when it comes to blacks.
Do you realize?
And that's why everything trickles down, you know, to how they view our kids, you know, and if kids don't know who they are, you know, like they taught Black history only a little bit, you know, but they don't really go into, Black history should be every day, like me, you know, so they know who they are. Like, you know, you come from, you know, from queens and kings, and we did the alphabet, we did this, we taught them everything they know. We taught them how to be civilized, how to wash, how to use soap, you know, all of that stuff, but they don't teach that because they don't want us to know who we really are.
But you know, that comes from being sold propaganda. When I'm an oppressor, I'm insecure because I'm fearful of the truth getting out. Like they project us as being lazy people. If we were so lazy, how did we work during slavery? The things, we could be in the field, lay down, have a baby, get up and go to work. Also, I'm going to speak on this. Caucasian females committed the most heinous crimes against blacks. And I say this because they committed murder to our children. The most heinous acts that you could think of. And the cowardice, because we weren't allowed to protect ourselves. They used to use crude instruments on us, our babies, because they figured because we was black, we couldn't feel any pain. If you look over history and you look at the Caucasian, we're a product of what they taught us, not who we are.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's true, but I can't say that all, you know, because all Caucasians are like that. You know, I have met some nice Caucasians, you know. That's right. And so I can't, so it would be unfair to me to say, well, all are like that, like all cops are bad or all black people steal.
I'm not saying.
No, I know what you're saying. You know, overall, you're trying to say, but this is the reason why we're like this is because of this. You know, because they the one that you know, okay, their perception of us cause us to feel a certain way, you know, to a point where we feel like low of ourselves. You know, that's what you're saying. And the reason why they don't teach our real history because they don't want us to know who we are. Because then once you know who you are, you begin to rise up and say, wait a minute, you know, and then realize that they're the minority and we're the majority. You know, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
You know, most blacks don't even realize that we set the trends, hairdos, style of dress. It all comes from us. Now, you're speaking on rappers. I don't respect them because you have a strong hold on the youth. And instead of politicking positive stuff, you shoot negative stuff to them. So they think that it's all glamorous and glitz and jewelry and getting high all day. Females or nothing. I could say what they really say, but I'm going to keep it clean.
Right.
They depict their females, the black female, as lower than them. And that helps to divide us.
Well, well, they're paid to do that. I believe that the black artists, rappers, and how they, you know, always talking negative stuff, smoked out Molly and do all that kind of stuff. I believe that they have to do certain things to maintain their status.
That's it.
And I believe that that's why they promote all this stuff to our people. They push, you know, like, this is what you want to do, and this is what we want. And in order for you to get to this status up here, you have to do this. So it's like destroying the mind. Because if you can destroy the mind, like, you can control
everything, because the mind controls everything. But I feel as if, okay, once they get there, you have a moral obligation to tell our youth that you are somebody.
That's right.
You have a moral obligation for those kids to get an education. An education is a self-esteem builder, a confidence giver. You know, we are intelligent people, and we're stagnated because we're told that we're not sufficient enough to be humans. I remember when I was in school, I wanted to play the flute. And I was told that I couldn't play the flute because my lips were too big. You know, prejudice on a whole is being insecure. I always taught my kids that a black man, a black woman with a book is a dangerous commodity. You know, we depict doing things physically. We're gonna kill them, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Morally wrong. Instead of pushing to educate ourselves, take those CEO boardrooms by storm. Same way you hustle those drugs, hustle those CEOs.
I mean, I agree with you, but like I said, I go back to the music and stuff because it's all about the money. It's all about money. If they was put out positive things, as you said, you know, positive messages, you know, maybe people won't buy their record, you know. But because whoever, I hate to say the word, owned them in terms of, you know, when it comes down to making music and different things, they probably told what to put out.
But you know what? There's a thing called.
I mean, I'm sorry, and they should have morals. But they don't, because they don't care, because they're looking just to get rich and make more money.
That's right.
But there should be a thing of cause and effect. They won't make money if they politic positive stuff. The same way you politic those negative stuff.
That's right.
If the beat is right and the music flows,
I absolutely agree with you.
People will buy those records. We have to, first of all, the black family is totally separated. There's no morals, there's no values, a sense of responsibility to the black family. So this comes from slavery doing its job to separate us. And it still does its job today.
Yes.
It separates us from each other. We have to come together like we did in the 1940s, 1930s, and 50s when we band together and we had hoses put on us, dogs attacking us, cops beating us, but we all had a common ground of what we needed, what will make us successful as humans. But see, now they've given us kibbles and bits, and we've become complacent. We're still in the same rut. Because if we wasn't, we wouldn't have Eric Gardner. We wouldn't have the Trayvon Martins as early as 1955. I didn't even know that Emmett Till was killed in 1955. You know, but through education, through the College of New Rochelle, I've learned a lot of things. Professor Mcallister, our filming teacher, he never controlled us, set it in stone the way we're supposed to do. You're going to do this, you're going to go that way. He let our creativeness, our passion for what we were speaking about or whatever we was acting towards to flow. And that's why I love that class. I didn't even know that a lot of things that I possess, all the things that I learned here, I used that in my advanced filming class. And I'm so glad that you are an alumni. She's a PhD, black female. Look at that. And she sets a statement that, yes, I can. I am capable of. But you won't hear about her. But you'll hear about her today.
Thank you so much. My goal is to empower people.
Right.
You know, to motivate. I mean, I motivates adults as well as children. Listen, go get your education, work towards your goal, work on purpose every day towards your goal. That's my job to do, is to motivate people, to encourage.
That's a beautiful job.
And to help people. You know, it's not impossible, and your past does not have to dictate your future.
And don't let it hold you hostage.
Right.
See, but you know, most people, especially the youth, they're afraid to make a mistake because they don't want people to laugh at them. But a mistake is a beautiful thing, because had you not made a mistake, you would not have learned how to do it. You know, education is a present, a gift. You know, I don't care what color you are. Whoever's giving me the gift, I want it.
I mean, I totally agree with you. Like, right now, I'm in the process of doing my own nonprofit. So nobody's really helping me. So I'm just going and doing it on my own. So, you know, so I learn as I go. And I make mistakes. You know, I find stuff out. Oh, okay, well, let me just go ahead and just fix this. So it's okay. You know.
But the beauty is the after product that I did this, I accomplished this. That's the beauty. I guess because I'm older now, I'm an older woman now, I'm not afraid.
Oh, Chris, fear holds you back.
Holds you back.
Yeah.
And I am not going to allow anybody to hold me back to the history that they own about me. Because I know who I am. I know where I'm going. And I'm going in the direction of people, our people. You know, because there's a lot of us out here. I'm so proud of you with the PhD, and you're a black woman. So that shows that we can do more than go up in the kitchen and fry that bacon and eggs up in the pan. We're capable of thinking. We've done so many things that you never. Cancer. Black woman created a laser as opposed to chemotherapy.
Right, absolutely.
The space program, black woman. You know, I used to hate school, you know, because I went to school when it was first integrated blacks and whites. So that shaped my thoughts, my negativity on education. And I had promised because I was smart. But it seemed like the smarter that I proved that I was, it was more that they tried to deter me in another direction and put me down. So I gave up. But the best thing I ever did for myself is to walk into 322 New Rochelle. I don't care what's going on in my outside life, what's going on in the street. Once I step in here, and I know I'm a part of something positive. In May, I'm graduate with a bachelor's in psychology.
Congratulations.
And this school healed me. The person that I thought I was, I'm nowhere near. I'm so much more. Because people will degrade you and put you down when they see something in you that you don't see in yourself.
I mean, absolutely. That's why you have to surround yourself with people that are that's going places. You know, me dealing with business, I only want to deal with people who are in the same arena. You know, that talk about business, talk about this, that. You know, or wherever it is, whether it's politics or, you know, I just surround myself with those individuals.
What is your name again? Tell them your
my
name.
name is Dr. Marylean Wrotten.
Now, this shows you right here that we can do many things. Thank you so much for listening and taking out the time to see a positive Black woman.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.